And above all else, remember this. Never use a preposition to end a sentence with, because that is the type of nonsense up with which I will not put. Thank you, William Sapphire, wherever you are. All right, Super Talk 1270. What are we going to do with the sex offenders in our town? Grandma's house. Grandma's house is being sold and renovated. That's the word. Grandma's house is an apartment building in the city of Bismarck known to be rented by sex offenders. It may be sold and converted into an apartment complex and a restaurant for the downtown area. Which begs the question, what are we going to do with these sex offenders who are living there now? Do they have plans for them? I haven't heard of anything. Maybe they do. I don't know. But, a lot of people don't even think about stuff like this, and you really should. Because they got to live somewhere. So where are they going to go? That's the question. Number here is 663-1270, 663-1270. Jim Walsh on Super Talk 1270 and supertalk1270.com. Grandma's house. It's an old building, 114 3rd. It's kind of a little bit off of 3rd and Main there. And it was recommended last week to get funding from the Technical Assistance Bank Grant to study how to rehabilitate the building. The Renaissance Zone Authority made the recommendation to approve the community tax increment finance money be used to hire firms, study renovations, so on and so forth. Well, fine. Okay, it's their property. It's private property. I guess they can do with it what they will. But I have to ask, what about the sex offenders who are living there? Where are we going to put them now? It's very fashionable just to not even think of them. Or if you think of them at all, you go, hey, they're terrible. They just let them twist in the wind or whatever. That John Walsh crap. But here's the thing. Once they've served their time, once they have, quote, paid their debt to society, unquote, and they get out, why does it seem we bend over backwards to make it as difficult for these people as we can just to find a place to live? Yeah, I know. Nobody wants them in their backyard. It's the old NIMBY thing. I don't want them in my backyard. Well, the thing is, where are they going to live? They got to live somewhere. If they don't live anywhere, what are you going to do? You're going to have them live on the street? You're going to have them spend all day just walking around, finding a place to live? These people are sex offenders. Now, some of them are pretty evil people, but not all of them necessarily. Some of them are monsters. Some of them are just people who screwed up once or twice, and they're trying to work things out. Not all sex offenders are created equal. And my concern is this. If you got a guy who gets out of prison, he's a sex offender, he's getting out, first thing he's going to do is what? He's going to look for a place to live. And the prison system may or may not help him with that. In this case, they probably put him in a place like Grandma's house. But if Grandma's house is not there anymore, then it's just going to make it more difficult for them to find a place to go because nobody wants them in their neighborhood. So eventually what happens? In the worst case scenario, what happens is the guy says, well, I do know of one place where I can go to get my roof over my head and 3 squares a day, and that's back to prison. So they wind up doing something that will get them sent back into the system. Now, I ask you, whatever you think of these people, do you really want to encourage that kind of behavior? That's why I've got real reservations about the idea of tearing down a place like Grandma's house. Where are they going to go? It's just going to make it that much harder for these people to find a place to go and live. Because they got to live somewhere, right? Number here is 663-1270. They're going to tear it down and put up another big fancy building with all kinds of studio-type apartments that will be, of course, way too expensive for regular Joes like you and me. It's all part of the way things are going these days. It's the miracle of North Dakota. Boy, am I really sick of hearing that. I'm really tired of hearing about how great the economy is around here because, frankly, for a lot of us, it's not that good. A lot of people are kind of stuck in the middle on this one. We'll talk about that as well. 663-1270. Jim Walsh on Supertalk 1270 with more conversation. Your calls coming up.